I believe everyone wants two things when they retire. They want to be okay and know that they're never going to run out, and they want purpose. Now, if any of you watching right now are going, I just financially need to know, am I in a good spot to retire? Meaning, am I going to never run out of money? And I don't need to think about purpose and fulfillment because I'm going to go golfing and I've got family and I just am not concerned about that at all. Then great. This might not be the video for you. And I have other videos where I talk about tax strategy and withdrawal and all these other financial topics that you might resonate with. I would argue that this is probably going to be one of my most important videos, even if I'm not going through a case study. And here's why. Look at this. So I am on LinkedIn consistently because that's how I'll connect with people that are retiring, other advisors that want to work at Root. And I came across this. Now, this guy, Daniel Crosby, I don't know who this is, meaning I'm not personally a friend with him. He is the chief behavioral officer at this company called Orion, which I know well. He says he's a behavioral finance expert, and he posted this and it just hit me, and it might hit you. So here's what he says. He posts a comment here and he says, ever more people today have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. And that's a quote from Viktor Frankl. Now, he's posting a screenshot from something he found on Reddit, and it says the following: I am rich and have no idea what to do with my life. Now, some of you, before I go on here, are like, if I had enough money, I would have no problems in the world. I believe that if you are wealthy right now and you do charitable giving, if you were more wealthy, you just do more giving. And it's not a question of, hey, once I have more money, then I'm going to give. And I'm just using that as an example. When people get more money, they just do more of what they're already doing. It could be more giving, it could be more spending, it could be helping out family even more, you name it. Let's read on here. So here's someone that says, life has been a haze this last year. After selling my company, I find myself in the totally unrelatable position of never having to work again. Everything feels like a side quest, but not in an inspiring way. I don't have the same base desires driving me to make money or gain status. I have infinite freedom, yet I don't know what to do with it. And honestly, I'm not the most optimistic about life. I know this is a completely zeroth world position to be in. The point of this post isn't to brag or gain sympathy. To be honest, I don't exactly know what the point of this post is. I tried to manufacture one, but I just felt like a phony. Then I recognized the irony of creating purpose out of a blog post when I don't currently have much conviction or purpose in life. So why am I bringing this up to you guys? Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because I have a client that was so excited to golf in retirement. And I said, hey, what happens if you hurt your back? And they're like, well, then I'm going to volunteer. I said, great. What happens if volunteering starts to feel like work? They're like, well, then I'll quit and spend time with family. And then I'm like, okay, great. What if it turns out you're spending time with family and you just feel like you need some more you time? And they're like, well, just figure it out then. And there's nothing wrong with that response. But when I'm working with clients, I feel very strongly that you don't have to have it all figured out, but you have to have some plan for purpose and fulfillment. That can be his answer of saying, I'm going to hang out with family and I'm going to golf. And if I hurt my back, volunteer, I'm good. Here's someone that I don't know if they've tried volunteering. I don't know if they like golf, but it's someone who's lost. And the reason I'm bringing this up is we all feel lost at some point. It can be before you retire, where you're working a job, where you just feel like you're grinding every day, but not actually moving forward. Some of you, it's you are retiring going, what's my worth, in this world anymore? I saw a beautiful post. I don't know if you guys follow this page, but you should. Now, this page is called Humans of New York. On Instagram is where I found them. And you can see this woman here sitting on a bench, drinking coffee. Looks like a nice woman. And she says, I'm teaching my last class in a few hours. I've been a professor of textile design for 20-something years, but it's sort of on an as-needed basis. And there's been a decline in enrollment, so I don't think I'm needed anymore. I'll have to figure out what else to do with my time. I don't want to just start binge watching Netflix. I could always go work as a receptionist somewhere, but I'd like to think I have something particular to express and that if I pour my energy into it and I'm disciplined enough, then something will come out of it. But it takes bravery to be creative, right? You look at Pinterest or whatever, and it looks like everything's been done already. It's easier to find the confidence when you're 25, 35, or 45. You can kind of convince yourself that you're cool and hip and, of the moment. If I was still in my 30s, maybe I'd invest going to an art school or something. But at this age, it's kind of like, is that really worth the investment? At an age where most people are thinking of retiring, it's a question of time, because how many years do I have of actually working, creating? But it's also a self-worth question. If I do a 2-year degree, I'm almost 60. If I do a 4-year degree, I'm definitely 60. I like that math, by the way. You worry about investing all the time, all that money, all that energy, and then kind of being mediocre, at that thing. And that would be hard to swallow at this age, right? You kind of want to finish on top. So did I need to read that whole story? No. Should I have summarized it? Probably. But it's just too important that there are so many of you out there that are not worrying about this. And if that's you and you're just listening to this for fun, then great, kudos to you. But there are a lot of you out there, because I'm talking to you guys, that are feeling like this woman going, hey, should I really start this new project? Is it too late to get into photography? It's like when someone comes to me and they're like, I think I'm too late to start retiring and investing more. I go, look, if you're retiring at 60, that could be 30 years of compound growth, maybe 35, 40 if health is in a really good spot. No. There's no too late. The too late is when you're no longer here. So for this woman, the question I would love to ask her is really simple. Do you want to do it? And are you willing? That would be my first question. She goes, yeah, I want to do it, but I don't know if it's worth the time or energy. I said, we're past that. If what else, you don't want to binge watch Netflix, you might meet one person that you love that becomes your best friend over the next 20 years. And yeah, it might turn out that you suck at doing whatever this, I forget what she was saying here. I think it was art school. Turns out she might not be great at the type of art that painting, whatever it may be. Okay, great. That's not the point. The point is to find purpose and fulfillment. Now, can I speak to this exactly? No, I'm not her age. I don't really know what she's going through. I'm just so curious because I talk to people that retire early all the time and they're in a similar spot. So what I encourage people to do, if you're watching this right now, is please go watch this documentary. It's called In and of Itself. It's on Hulu, or you can see Disney here. I tell so many people to go watch this documentary because it really helps you think about identity and purpose and what you want to do in retirement. Now, it's also helpful, it's one of my top 5 favorite literal things I've watched because it made me think differently. And for a lot of you that are saving and investing, look, I know you're working really hard. Sometimes we need to take a step back to really go, why are we doing this? Do I need to go at this rate? This is not my normal case study video, which I recognize. But there's a lot of things in life that just can't be quantified. Perfect example of it is this guy here who on paper might be super successful. I'm rich and I have no idea what I want to do with my life. Well, it's easy for all of us over here to be like, well, go help people in the children's hospital. You've got money. Go help, go volunteer more, go help. That's what I'm thinking when I'm reading this. But here's someone that's going, yeah, I get that. And I know there's things I'm sure I should be doing, but there's a gazillion things we should be doing. What do I want to do in this next stage of life? And you get to decide. You get the next 20, 30 years of your life. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments. This was not my traditional video, which I recognize, but I thought it was too important not to share. So I want to record it for you guys. Let me know your thoughts.